Sun is out. Let's welcome the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2015.
The mighty Chinook. That's him saying thanks very much for watching. We really enjoyed displaying here today. That's their final bow. I've just the team asked me to pass on their thanks to all of you today for turning up so early to see them and really enjoying that fabulous display. And when they start flying, they always start with flying stations. So here's flying stations. Please welcome the Sea King Mark V from 771 Squadron. I've asked them to put in an extra fly past today. I don't know whether they'll be allowed time for that, but I just figured on behalf of all the Royal Navy search and rescue crews over the many, many years, they deserve a bit of a fond farewell from us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Blades!
So far, as the lovely George has been talking you through it. Now the boys do love to show that they do have a fantastic time here at the air shows. This is how they demonstrate how they perform crazy. Ladies and gents, please give them a huge wave as they go across the display line. Ladies and gents, here is the Blades break.
An extraordinary 18,000 plus MiG-15s were constructed mainly by the Soviet Union, but also some among them were Polish-built variants, of which the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron is one example. But this is unique in other ways too, because some of you here today may remember a famous Russian cosmonaut. This aircraft has the markings of that Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, who was the first man to visit outer space in 1961. This aircraft is often mentioned along with the North American F-86 Sabre as the best fighter aircraft of the Korean War, and certainly amongst the best fighters of all time.
She is approaching with her Praetorian Guards, Avro Vulcan XH558 and the Red Arrows. As Vulcan drops away out of the formation, I think you'll agree that that is as near perfect formation as you could expect to see. So our thanks to the Red Arrows for that wonderful display of togetherness. And you can see how stealthy she is. She creeps up on you and she has that slim look coming towards you. But I guess that would have got your attention. That is, as I was saying, the sound of those four Bristol Olympus 202 engines. Vulcan was immensely popular when she was in RAF service. This particular aeroplane was kept on long after the other operational aircraft had ceased flying as part of the Vulcan display flight. The Air Force finally got rid of her in 1993, her last display season 1992. And she was bought by David Walton, and he and Dr. Robert Fleming are the men who really caused this aeroplane to be back with us today. Bombay doors coming open as she goes by now. That is the size of the Bombay. That is the heart of the bomber. That's the Bombay that carried those 21 1,000-pound bombs, as I said, not far short of 10 tons. As she comes back in front of us this time, you'll see the Bombay doors closing. That Bombay these days full of the names of people who have contributed to this aircraft continuing to fly. So to get her to the stage at which we see her today has cost roughly 23 million quid. Not only has it been an amazing engineering project to get this aeroplane back in the air, it's also been an amazing fundraising project. It still costs £2 million a year to run. That's £38,500 a week, give or take. So altogether, the Vulcan to the Sky Trust has done some absolutely amazing things. I was talking about the engineering. Somebody who isn't on board is Taff Stone, the crew chief and the chief engineer. He always says 558 is my baby. I always refer to the aeroplane as she. People tell me I shouldn't, but Taff says she's high maintenance. And that amazing design from Roy Chadwick. It's a bomber, but it flies like a fighter. This is her final pass. Time to wave goodbye. So, what's next? Well, the Vulcan team and the Aviation Skills Partnership are going to create a new life for her as the dynamic centrepiece of the Etna project at Robin Hood Airport, Doncaster, Sheffield. There'll be an aviation academy and a heritage skills centre. It will showcase technological achievements and advancements. It's called the Etna project because Mount Etna was the workshop of the god Vulcan. The Etna project will be like the Eden project, but for engineers. And as she goes away, I think we should probably remember the words of the great Dr. Seuss, you know, The Cat in the Hat, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He wrote, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." If you can't manage that, at least a little smile through the tears would be appropriate.
Corporal Frank Millerick, he is the most experienced, he is the team leader. He will be at the top of the stack. He is piloting it. It's always most experienced that pilots the stack. As you can see then, with the wind conditions that they've got there, because they've got three canopies all together, they're moving very slowly. They're coming down more than they are getting forward speed. Corporal Millerick's at the top, Private James Bridle is in the middle, and then at the bottom with the weighted flag and the Union flag and the smoke is Private Will Forbes. Let's see if any of these guys, as you can see he's waving there, the guy in the middle is waving to everyone, if you can wave back. See if any of these can hit the cross. And he's going to be landing the three stack there, breaking it down very low. Well done there, Corporal Millerick, Private Will Forbes and Private James Bridle.
Spitfire played a major part in achieving ultimate victory in World War II and truly deserves its place as probably the most successful fighter design ever, and certainly as the most famous and charismatic of all time. Alongside me, I'll reveal his age now, 93-year-old Percy Proctor. First flew the Hurry Bomber, then went on to the Mark 14 Spitfire and was the fastest of all the Merlin-powered Spitfires before the introduction of the Griffon engine.
Coming with Percy here, we've got an insight into the amazing development of this aircraft.
One of the marks of Peter Teichmann's great displays is just the grace, style and beauty of which he demonstrates all of his aircraft, never overstressing the machine, just showing off its beautiful lines. Please welcome the Royal Navy's Swordfish. Now, despite the Pegasus engine being the cutting edge of technology in 1934, it actually only managed to propel the Fish at a stately 90 knots cruise when laden, and 80 knots when you had a torpedo underneath. I'm sure they flew in the odd tornado as well. And the crew were not afforded much comfort, as you can see. There's no heater and no fabric covering in the open cockpit and very little shelter. And you see him now really putting this Swordfish through its paces. Let's sit back and enjoy it. The Swordfish, famous for many, many operational missions, things like the attack on Taranto in November 1940, where 21 Swordfish effectively stopped the Italian battle fleet taking any aggressive part in World War II. Alongside that, let's forget the famous chase after the very fast and dangerous battleship, the Bismarck, ended when a Swordfish put a torpedo through the steering gear and the home fleet were able to sink her with gunfire. Yes, a remarkable achievement. 6 Swordfish and another engagement attempted to stop Prince Eugene Scharnhorst and Gneisenau from moving up the English Channel from Brest to Wilhelmshaven in what is now known as the Channel Dash. The ships were heavily defended by destroyers, E-boats and a huge air armada, and all 6 Swordfish were shot down. However, the bravery and fortitude of the crews in pressing home their attacks was earned high praise, and their commanding officer, Lieutenant Commander Eugene Esmond, was posthumously awarded the VC, one of only 2 such awards to the Fleet Air Arm aircrew in World War II. And the general thing there, good wing waggle, means that that's their last pass, very sadly indeed. But I know they're having a lot of fun and they're really enjoying being up here. I know Chris and all his team extremely well, and nothing pleases them more than getting these old crates out of the hangars and showing them to the great British public.
85 trained pilots and observers and engineers to operate and maintain the aircraft both at home and at land all around the world on frigates and destroyers. Today's pilot is Lieutenant Dave Lilly, the team's lead pilot, an experienced qualified helicopter instructor. He joined the Royal Navy in 1997. Equipped with the state-of-the-art sensors, it can detect, identify and if necessary prosecute a variety of targets up to 80 nautical miles from their launch position. Today, however, Dave is demonstrating the Wildcat's remarkable maneuverability, utilising the power of two T800 engines, each generating 1,300 shaft horsepower. During the psychic climbs, they will be exceeding 4,000 feet per minute rate of climb, while accelerating up to 150 miles per hour in the descent, pointing at the ground.
Let's welcome the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2015, the Red Arrows! Another formation change now. You see Reds 8 and 9 move to the outsides of the formation. Reds 8 and 9 move to their respective sides. Now a very wide shape being formed from Red 9's left wingtip through to Red 8's right wingtip. This formation measures 100 metres or 300 feet wide. As the jets go upside down, boys and girls, this is where the pilots will see you waving! Going upside down now at 400 miles an hour, 2,500 feet above us. The closest parts of those aircraft are only 6 feet away from each other. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spitfire.
Can we go back?
Once again pulling up at 4G in amateur Champagne. Here go Enid. We've had quite a frustrating British summer in terms of the weather this year, so I've actually only seen this myself around 4 times this summer. Cameras ready, on comes Jimbo Smoke. This is the Champagne Split. As they get ready to fly the amazing Jippo Pass. Climbing very steeply with a red, white and blue stripe is Red 9. He's Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. Cameras ready for the opposition barrel rolls. .7,000 feet. Get your cameras ready for the good bits. This is the vertical brake. You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows!
Cameras that are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Ben and Toby this time coming round for a top side pass is an awesome photographic opportunity.